If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-936-5496.
My name is Sharon, and soon I will be debt-free for keeps.
1-800-936-5496.
Your home for Goodland High School athletics, the Denver Broncos, Tech Tiger basketball, and the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer and Connor Schuh. This is Goodland's Rocket 102.5 KKCI FM, Goodland, an NWKS radio station.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland and let's get you covered. The Insurance Agency. Insurance the way it should be.
Convenience just got an upgrade. Farmers State Bank of Oakley is excited to announce the opening of our brand new ATM along Highway 40, right next to Sonic Drive-In. Whether you're grabbing a snack or on the go, you can quickly access your cash without the detour. It's banking made easy, right where you need it. Farmers State Bank of Oakley, member FDIC.
With NWKS Radio News, I'm Connor Schuh. Unofficial election results are out in the area. Here's how they shook out. In Oakley, Russ Kale ran unopposed for mayor and received 15 votes to 1 write-in to earn the spot as mayor in Oakley. Dwight Williams was up 15 votes on Randy Huff, 27-12 for mayor in Rexford, with one other vote going to a write-in candidate. Ward 1 of Colby City Council was voted on, with Erica Nicholson running unopposed save for 9 write-in votes. She received 144 votes to win her spot. Michelle Morris beat W.G. Romine II in the 2nd ward of Colby City Council, getting 121 votes over Romine's 77. In Colby's 3rd ward, Bruce Hansen got 235 votes against 1 write-in to win that part of City Council. Jared Johnson beat out Samantha Shepard in Colby's 4th ward, 174-68. We'll have more results at the top of the next hour. For these and more stories, go to nwksradio.net.
This morning, temperatures will start around 40 with a north wind around 10 miles per hour, and this afternoon will be sunny and 20 degrees cooler than yesterday, with highs in the upper 50s. Winds will turn southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting to 25, and then tonight it'll be clear with lows in the mid to upper 30s. Tomorrow is partly cloudy and warmer, highs around 70 ahead of yet another cool front and afternoon wind shift from the southwest to the northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour, and lows again will be in the mid to upper 30s. Friday, high temperatures will continue to be above normal around 65, 10 to 20 mile an hour winds shift from the northwest to the southwest ahead of yet another stronger front overnight and early Saturday, and lows will be 30 to 35. For the weekend, will stay dry but much colder and more seasonal, with strong northwesterly winds at 25 to 45 miles per hour. Saturday's highs will be in the low 50s and Sunday in the mid 40s, while overnight lows drop 20 to 25. This meteorologist Chris Schromick in the NWKS Radio Weather Center.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quinter, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities, contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
Need a porta potty or septic pumping in Northwest Kansas? Call Topside Portables and Pumping, your local family-owned crew. They've got clean, reliable toilets for weddings, farms, and job sites, plus full septic services, RV waste, fertilizer tanks, and more. Available 24/7, because when nature calls, they answer. Call 785-728-8089. That's 728-8089. Topside Portables and Pumping. Reliable, local, clean.
It's Truck Month at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland. Get behind the wheel of a brand new 2026 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 with 2.9% APR for 72 months. And if GMC's more your style, you're in luck. Drive home a 25 GMC Sierra Elevation with up to $7,000 in customer cash, or lock in 0.9% APR on a 26 GMC Sierra 1500. Whether it's power, performance, or pure style, Hurl Chevrolet GMC has the truck to match your drive. Visit hurlchev.com or stop by today in Goodland and make this Truck Month one to remember.
This fall, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware has everything you could need. Keep your lawn strong with Ultimate Winterizer, the best defense before the frost. Warm up your evenings and create memories with a new fire pit. Or bring home the flavor with a great selection of grills and smokers from brands like Traeger, Blackstone, Green Egg, and more. And right now, the lumber prices are low, and so are the temperatures, making it the best season to tackle those outdoor projects. It's Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware with locations in Goodland and Colby. Open every day but Sunday.
Are pests making your home or business uncomfortable? Call Pest Away in Goodland, Kansas, serving all of Northwest Kansas. They provide top-notch pest control services to keep your space safe and pest-free. From ants to rodents, termites to spiders, our expert team is here to help with effective, safe, and affordable pest control solutions. Don't wait. Call Pest Away today at 785-728-7166 for fast, reliable service. Your home or business deserves the best protection.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland and let's get you covered. The Insurance Agency. Insurance the way it should be.
You ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4!
It's time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
The amount of money getting thrown around to quarterbacks who haven't done diddly squat is amazing to me.
And Connor Schuh.
He's the new guy.
The High Plains only local sports talk show. Broadcasting live on Goodland's Rocket 102.5 and video streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody!
Covering it all from the preps.
He's at the 10, the 5, he dives for the end zone. He's in! Touchdown, Cowboys!
To the pros.
Line drive, left field, base hit. Here comes McMahon. He'll score. Ball game.
The Blitz is presented by Pearl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank, along with
Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell, the Insurance Agency, Pest Away LLC, Topside Portables and Pumping, and the Farmer State Bank in Oakley.
Let's go to work.
Ball is loose. K-State's got it. Kamari McGriff. There's the lob for Johnson. Johnson stops. Got rid of a man and stuffed it home. He's got 13. Cats by 10, 53-43.
Oh, they lost the ball. It's going everywhere. Harrison trying to scoop it up. It's still alive. Oh, Summers has it. Summers dragging defenders into the end zone. Oh, Maction never fails.
Here's Bashir. Bashir, top of the circle, triple on the way. Oh, man, is that sweet. Wow.
12 seconds left. Giddy on the inbound from Jones. It's Oubre on him. Carter sets up a screen. Giddy races to the basket. Fires it out. Vucevic the shot. Main for 3.
Good Wednesday morning, everybody. It's November the 5th. Glad you've decided to join us here on the Morning Blitz on Goodland's Rocket 102.5, NWKSradio.net, or if you're watching via the Hurl Chevrolet GMC video stream, good morning to you out there. Late breaking news here in the Morning Blitz. Just yours truly today. No Connor Schuh. Connor is in the midst of election results, and so Connor will be working on that here this morning. He's unable to join us here on a Wednesday edition of the Morning Blitz, but that's all right. We have got a full slate ahead for you here on this Wednesday show. We have the College Football Power 5 coming up today. We're going to talk a little cornhole today. Adam Waters is going to join us in studio and talk about the local cornhole league that's going on here in Goodland. We'll also discuss a new deal for a long-standing Royal coming up in segment 3 as well. And the postseason begins in Region 6 volleyball tonight, too. So we'll get to all that coming up here on today's program. So I hope that everyone is having a great start to their Wednesday. Going to be another nice day today. Not as warm as yesterday. I mean, yesterday was sunny and 75. I mean, they write songs about that type of weather. And today going to be a little bit cooler, still sunny and 38 right now, but a high of 61 here on this Wednesday. Once again, temperatures going to kind of go up and down tomorrow, back up into the 70s. And then a cool down for the weekend. Temperatures in the low 60s, all the way down into the upper 40s on Sunday. But then it'll go right back up into the upper 60s by next Tuesday. So once again, and really no signs of precipitation anywhere in the foreseeable future. So pretty much clear skies and fall-like temperatures on the horizon, I guess, except for maybe tomorrow. Those are like 70 seems more like a summertime temperature for sure. But anyway, throughout the program, if you'd like to be part of the Morning Blitz, we'd love to hear from you on the Hurl Chevrolet GMC video stream through the chat, or if you'd like to hit us up on our FNB Bank text line at 785-899-2222. You're welcome to be a part of that here today. Also want to remind folks, Raleigh mentioned this on the Good Neighbor Hour, but yes, today in Goodland is the fall cleanup. Once again, this is for elderly citizens. You make sure you call the junior senior high school in Goodland at 890-5656 to have students from the high school come out, rake your lawn, help you do some fall cleanup, which I tell you, and this is just my observation of it. This is going to be great for them to come clean things up, but not a lot of fall has fallen, if you get what I'm saying. I mean, there has been some, but there are a lot of trees out there that still have a lot of fall foliage sitting on it. So they're going to help you get a little bit of stuff raked up. I don't know if you're going to need more help later on, to be honest with you. Still, though, call the school and have those great kids come and help you out to get your place looking your best here. But like I said, my guess is you're going to be doing a little bit more work a little bit later on, because you look around town, it's been so warm and not a lot of cold, so it hasn't really had a lot of fall foliage yet. There is some, but not as much as what you may expect. And honestly, that's kind of the way it's been. You know, the changing of the seasons over the previous, handful of years. You know, it seems like, winter gets kind of later. Really winter doesn't start, or you feel those really cool fall doesn't even really start until it feels like, late November, early December, and then winter comes maybe around January or February. It's how it usually seems. But anyway, like I said, if you want to be part of the fall cleanup, which is going on today, 890-5656, get in at the gun to be a part of that. Okay, let's get into today's program real quick before we get to the College Football Power 5. Last night in some basketball, Colby Community College paid a visit to Lamar Community College, and it was a split for CCC. The women coming from behind to win 65-62, the final score. Originally, I saw it was 63-62, but 65-62, the final score for Lamar, with the win over Lamar for the women, who improved to 3-0. The Colby men did not have such luck, struggled to stop Lamar, who put up 93 points in a 93-84 win for the Runnin' Lopes. So men handed their first loss, who are 1-1. Women remain unbeaten at 3-0. Both of those teams will welcome Lamar into town coming up here on Tuesday. So a week from yesterday, they will welcome Lamar in what's kind of a home-and-home series. That's the next game for the women. The men will be at home tomorrow hosting Kansas Wesleyan Junior Varsity, get their final JV game out of the way before they go diving into the rest of their non-conference slate. And then before we know it, Region 6 play will be here on the 19th with first games of the Region 6 or KJCCC conference action. Also last night, Colby Community College men's wrestling had a duel with Otero. They earn a victory there inside the Colby Event Center, 37-20. Their first victory of the 2025 season for the Colby Community, first dual victory, I should say, for Colby Community College men's wrestling team. And certainly cannot forget, we'll get to this more in the walk-off too, but tonight, Colby Community College volleyball begins the postseason. Lady Trojans host Seward County in the first round of the Region 6 tournament. So that is tonight, I believe at 6:30 Central Time is when that is. They're going to have a tailgate prior. So if you want to go out there and party before and then go in and watch the match, I think it's at 6:30 Central Time is when that is all going to get going there for Colby Community College volleyball. And K-State basketball last night opened up its season. I heard some highlights there from Wyatt Thompson, voiced the Wildcats in front of the program. PJ Haggerty, the star, the supposed this year for Kansas State, had 27 points. Nate Johnson nearly had a triple-double with 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists. Also, Abdi Bashir Jr., the sharpshooter, had 16 points, but all in the second half as K-State gets a 93-64 win there in their first game of the regular season. I had to chuckle for a little while because, we had Ryan Gilbert on yesterday to talk about this, and Ryan was like, he's like, yeah, we should, see UNC Greensboro. You never know, but, they do have a lot of new guys, and so I would expect Kansas State to win comfortably. They trailed at half to Kansas State. They were down by 1, 34-33. It wasn't until the second half where they found their footing and outscored the Spartans 60-30 in the second 20 minutes to get the 93-64 win. But yeah, that was I remember checking in on that score and seeing it. And I was like, uh-oh, not a good start there. You know, K-State has not been a good first half team thus far this year. You know, then they played Newman in the exhibition game. They kind of struggled with them for a half and then stepped on in the second half. Same exact story here in this one. It doesn't really matter. Once again, it doesn't matter how you get it done, just to get the win. But like I mentioned, 3 guys in double figures for Kansas State to get their first win of the 2025 season. I didn't get to watch it. I was busy with some other things. I did see, though, that there were some issues with the ESPN Plus stream of it, though, which that would just add to the wonderful turd burger that ESPN is putting a lot of its viewers through. So thank you, ESPN. Yeah, I mean, once again, you're not allowing YouTube TV people to watch it, and you're also, or not watch that game, but watch your channels. And then on top of that, you want to watch the Plus, and it doesn't work. Yeah, thanks a lot. Appreciate that. Been a rough week for Disney and ESPN. Certainly not good. So, yes, that all happened yesterday in regional sports. And then before we get to the college football Power 5, which we'll get to in just, actually, you know what? Let's get to it right now. We got the college football Power 5, week number 11 coming at you here. Let's get to it now on the Morning Blitz. All right, so week number 11 here on the college football Power 5. Before we dive into the games that I think are going to be intriguing this week, the 12-team college football playoff bracket was released, or, you know, the first one, the first CFP bracket projection of the season was released. And for those who are curious on what it looks like at this point in time, well, the top 12 teams include Ohio State 1, Indiana 2, Texas A&M 3, and Alabama 4, followed by Georgia 5, Ole Miss at 6, BYU at 7, Texas Tech at 8, Oregon at 9, Notre Dame is at 10, Virginia coming in at 11, and Memphis is the group of 5 team as the 6th squad in the most recent and the first college football playoff bracket projection of the season, which leads to some very interesting games here in week number 11 of the college football season. So with that, let's get cranking with my honorable mention game here this week. My honorable mention game, I'm going to stick close to the region. I don't know, maybe it's just the homer in me, I guess, but I'm going to say Nebraska at UCLA has got my interest. Once again, neither of these teams are playing for the college football playoff, but Nebraska lost their chance at that last week if they even had one. But Nebraska at UCLA is interesting because you have a Nebraska team that maybe could have beaten USC. I don't want to say they would have, but I feel like they would have had a really good shot at beating USC if their starting quarterback did not go down with a broken fibula or tibula. I forget what it was. One of those two. Broken that and had to go to the backup, TJ Lateef. But Nebraska, it doesn't matter, end up losing that game at home to USC. Now they got to pack up and go west out to California to take on UCLA, who, by the way, is very improved. I mean, ever since they fired their coach and brought on Tim Skipper and Jerry Neuheisel as kind of the 2 coaches there, UCLA has played really, really good. Nico Amalibiaba, their quarterback, the transfer from Tennessee, has been a great runner all year. And if there's one thing that Nebraska does not do good, it is to stop running quarterbacks. And so that is a big red flag. But I'm fascinated to see what they do with the backup quarterback. And how does a backup quarterback who'll be playing in front of a ton of family in his first ever collegiate start? Because TJ Lateef is from Compton, California. They'll make the trip there to watch this in Westwood. So I'm just intrigued to see what that all looks like. It's amazing. These type of games always, fascinate me. When we talk at the beginning of each season, it doesn't matter what sport it is, and we talk about how you look at the schedule, and I think it's going to be this record. And that's fine. That's all based upon what we know at that time. It's amazing how much things change throughout a course of a season, whether it's due to injuries, whether it's due to coaching changes, whatever it may mean. So much stuff changes. If you would have looked at this game going back to the beginning of the season, a lot of Nebraska fans would have said, well, that's going to be a win at UCLA. Feel pretty good about that. Now you can't really say that because you've learned that Nebraska is not very good at stopping the run. UCLA's got a mobile quarterback. Those things don't stack up very well. This could mean trouble for Nebraska. But once again, I'm intrigued to see on what this game is like. I think a game and a half is all the difference. Pretty much a pick'em game on the road at UCLA. I think Nebraska will bring a pretty good crowd, as it usually does, out to the West Coast. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a challenge, but I don't think it's impossible for Nebraska. I think it could be a very, very interesting football game between UCLA and Nebraska, making my honorable mention game here on the Power 5. All right, let's move on.
The Power 5, number 5.
All right, into the top 5. I'm going with what I'm dubbing the Disappointment Bowl. Florida State visits Clemson. Look, this is a game that should mean a whole heck of a lot more. Should, but it doesn't. It should mean a heck of a lot more. But it has really no meaning whatsoever in this one between Clemson and Florida State. It's two teams that are usually vying for a spot in the college football playoff, but are nowhere near it with their 500 or below records. Florida State sitting at 4-4, coming off a dominating win over Wake, but that snapped a 4-game skid where they lost in double overtime to Virginia, lost tight ones to Miami, Pittsburgh, and Stanford. Not great. Clemson, on the other hand, losing 2 in a row to SMU and a 1-point loss to Duke last week are some hard things to overcome. Once again, the Disappointment Bowl between Clemson and Florida State. Both of these teams should be vying for a spot in the college football playoff bracket. Instead, it's Virginia sitting there, and Virginia being really the only team that has a really good shot at making the playoff. I guess Georgia Tech could. They could sneak in there as well, but Virginia right now sitting in the catbird seat with that perfect 5-0 conference record. And these two teams probably should be there. Instead, they're towards the bottom of the ACC standings here on the College Football Power 5.
Number 4.
All right, my 4th ranked game, going to go to the AAC, not the ACC, but the AAC for an interesting football game between, it's just going to be a Friday night game, by the way, Tulane going to Memphis. As we just mentioned here a little bit ago, Memphis is currently in the number 12 seed in this first playoff bracket, meaning if the season ended right now, they would be in the CFP for the very first time. But they're taking on the Green Wave of Tulane, who have Coach Sutherland, I think is his name, Sutherland or something like that. He has been phenomenal head coach there at Tulane. I know there's people in Louisiana that would like to see him get a crack at taking over LSU. I don't know if that's going to happen. Probably lost some steam when they lost last week to UTSA in kind of a lopsided loss, 48-26. But this is a Tulane team that is 6-2, a really, really good squad in the upper half of the American Conference. And, of course, Memphis is sitting there at the top, tied pretty much with Navy for the top spot in the AAC. They've got 4 wins out of their last 5. But this, once again, Tulane has a chance to put a damper on Memphis's shot of making the playoff by losing this game. Tulane has a great shot at knocking them out of that spot. They really, really do. So we'll see if they can do it here on Friday night when Tulane visits Memphis. I wonder if we'll get to watch that game. Probably not, the way it's feeling right now, since it's on ESPN, and don't get to watch ESPN right now. Thanks, Disney. Really appreciate you. All right, moving on.
Number 3.
Into the top 3. Going to where these are now all ranked games. I think anybody would have these in their top spot. This game here in the SEC at number 3, as what is the now 3rd-ranked Texas A&M Aggies taking on the 22nd-ranked Missouri Tigers at Faurot Field in Mizzou. And look, Texas A&M, to some people's thoughts, has the toughest schedule in the most impressive schedule with the wins that they have shown at this point in time. You look at the Aggies schedule, they've got wins over a ranked Notre Dame team on the road. They've got a win over LSU on the road, convincing win. They've got wins over Florida and Arkansas. And Auburn. Other teams are not being that great. Their schedule, they still have Missouri to get through. They still have Texas to get through, with South Carolina and Samford sandwiched in between those two. There's a great chance for the Aggies to run the table, but it will not be easy because Missouri has proven to be a phenomenal defense. In fact, Missouri has a top 20 defense, a top 10 defense, and Texas A&M has a top 20 offense. What is going to win that battle between A&M and Missouri is a question that I have going into this game. Is it Texas A&M in that top 20 squad, or is it Missouri with that top 20 defense that has proven to? And Missouri runs the ball very, very well. How does Texas A&M slow the running attack of Missouri? I think there is a great chance that that Texas A&M gets handed their first loss of the season. We'll see if that happens, though. Texas A&M and Missouri is going to see what that line is right now as we sit here on this Wednesday, still with a few days to go. 6.5 favorite is the Aggies on the road. I'd almost take Missouri to cover that. Almost. We'll see. I'll have to think about that more. But a fascinating game between Texas A&M and Missouri. All right, moving on to the College Football Power 5. Number two, we've got a Big Ten matchup that I find fascinating. Once again, I go back to what I was talking about with Nebraska UCLA and how the seasons change and how teams change over the course of a season. Nothing stands truer, really, than this Oregon-Iowa game. Oregon comes into this game as the 9th-ranked team. They're in the college football playoff. They have looked really good since a 10-point loss to, well, I should say they've looked good, not really good. They had a 2-touchdown win over Wisconsin 2 weeks ago. They're coming off of a bye. They have one loss. It's to the unbelievable Indiana team that's just beating up on everybody. And the only team that has played Indiana close in pretty much this entire season, if we're being honest at this point in time, has been Iowa. The Hawkeyes lost to Indiana at home by 5, 20-15. This Iowa team is playing with a lot of confidence right now. They have learned what their identity is on offense, and it's not throwing the football. It's running it with their quarterback, Mark Gronowski, who has just 4 touchdowns and 4 picks, but he is a dynamic runner of the football. And they're taking on this Oregon squad who, let's face it, struggled against Wisconsin, which plays the same kind of way played kind of the same way, I should say, at least in that last game, as Iowa does. Iowa's defense is elite. It is very, very good. It is a top 5 defense in the country. And by the way, Oregon's is very good too, top 6. So they're both very, very good defenses. Can Iowa get enough offense to beat Oregon in Iowa? That's going to be the question. It could be a little cooler. I don't know if Oregon's going to love that a lot, although they're used to kind of cooler temps, I guess, being up in the Northwest. But that fascinates me. Oregon, Iowa, and it's more about the Iowa side of things because I feel like Iowa has just slowly but surely built up their season after they had some early struggles this year. You look at the Hawkeyes' schedule. You know, they began the year with a loss to Iowa State. They lost close to Indiana. Well, they haven't really dominated anybody but Wisconsin. They squeaked out a 1-point win over Penn State, and then they rolled Minnesota last week, or that was 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. They rolled Minnesota 41-3. Both teams are coming off byes. Both teams should be well rested. I think this game is a very, very intriguing one. Oregon, Iowa, number 2. I think the Hawkeyes have a great chance of making things interesting and possibly pulling an upset over Iowa this weekend.
Number 1.
And the top game here on the College Football Power 5 here in week number 11. How about BYU at Texas Tech? A Big 12, the battle for the Big 12 conference at this point in time. This game is going to be really, really entertaining. I don't know if we'll get to watch it. It's on ABC. But this game is highly, highly entertaining, if you ask me. BYU and Texas Tech are at the top of the Big 12 conference. BYU is a perfect 8-0, 5-0 in conference play. Texas Tech is 8-1, 5-1 in conference play. I was wrong. I thought Braren Morton was out for the season with an injury. Apparently, I misread that or misheard that. He played against Kansas State. He still has 15 touchdowns to 4 picks. He's looked very good. The freshman quarterback, Bear Bachmeier for BYU, 11 touchdowns to 3 picks and a physical runner as well. This game is highly intriguing. I'm surprised Texas Tech is 10.5-point favorites, but they are at home, so that helps out some. This game, very interesting. Once again, you got to remember, BYU built of older men, guys that have gone on these missions and then come back and are playing college football at 23, 24, 25 years old. Texas Tech, the team that spent all this money and once again reaping the benefits of spending all this money, being in the top 10. It's been fun to see. Texas Tech, K-State hung around with Texas Tech for pretty much 3 quarters, and then Texas Tech stepped on the gas and ran away. BYU has been a lot tighter football games than Texas Tech has, might come down to that. Who can handle themselves in a tight football game between the Cougars and the Raiders? It's number 7 against number 8. That should be a really, really good football game in a top 10 matchup. Number 7, BYU, and number 8, Texas Tech. So once again, recapping my college football Power 5 this week. Nebraska at UCLA takes the honorable mention spot. 5, the Disappointment Bowl between Florida State and Clemson. Number 4, 2 of the best teams in the AAC and a spot for the 12th spot in the college football playoff on the line. Tulane at Memphis. Number 3, Texas A&M at Missouri. Number 9, Oregon at number 20, Iowa. And the top game this week for me, number 7, BYU at number 8, Texas Tech. That right there is the college football Power 5 here in what is week number 11 of the college football season. So we will take a break. When we come back, we've got more to get to coming up on today's program. Up next, Adam Waters will join me in studio. We will talk about cornhole and what's going on in the local league here. You're listening to the Morning Blitz on a Wednesday.
We've been serving ag families for generations because we believe farming isn't just a job, it's a legacy. Whether you're just starting out or expanding your operation, F&B Bank has flexible lending solutions designed for you. This is Loan Officer Kennedy Frank at F&B Bank. We're proud to be your hometown ag lender, member FDIC.
At Harvest, every acre tells the truth. And if you waited to see this season, you might be watching your yields slip away. Next year, don't wait and see. Know with TrivaPro. As the hardest working, longest lasting corn fungicide, TrivaPro works overtime to beat back disease, boost plant health, and preserve yield. For more bushels in the bin when it matters most. In 2026, don't wait to know. Go TrivaPro. Call your retailer today. Always read and follow label instructions.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
This is Austin Wright with the Anderson's Trade Group in your morning market update. It is November 5th. December corn, $431 and a quarter. March 26 corn, $445. May 26 corn, $453 and a quarter. December KC wheat, $533 and a half. March 26 KC wheat, $546 and three quarters. May 26 KC wheat, $556 and three quarters. January 26 soybeans, $11.24 and three quarters. March 26 soybeans, $11.31 and three quarters. May 26 soybeans, $11.41. Dow Jones futures are currently up 35 points at 47,249. S&P 500 futures are currently up 3 points at 6,805. NASDAQ futures are currently up 12 points at 25,588. Gold futures are currently up $26.80 at $3,987.60. Crude is currently down 35 cents at $60.21. For your grain marketing needs or more information on our freedom pricing tools, you can reach the Kansas City office, Jared Law, Tyler Ghosh, Tom Saludo at 913-748-3000. In Colorado, John Hinkie and John Stiles, 970-744-4484.
The Anderson Trade Group, proud market partners with Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio. Find out more at andersongrain.com. The risk of loss through trading futures and or options is substantial, and each investor and or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated, is not indicative of future results. The Anderson Trade Group has no guarantee that the advice given will result in profitable trades.
Hey Max, you look sharp in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world as a guide dog?
You bet, Daisy. And your purple service dog vest really pops against your shiny fur.
First day on the job for both of us. We've got this, right?
You bet. Dogs Inc. trained us well.
Ready to make a difference for our humans?
Born ready.
Discover how extraordinary.
At CHS, we know what it takes to feed and fuel the world, to integrate a global ag and energy supply chain, to advocate for farmers in their fields and around the world, to build communities, invest in rural America, and empower rural economies. It takes courage, conviction, commitment. It takes the nation's leading farmer-owned cooperative. It takes a co-op. It takes CHS.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, and cleaner American fuel. This message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
From the headlines to the highlights.
It's good! The Wildcats are champions of the Big 12!
This is the Morning Blitz.
Back here on a Wednesday morning, November the 5th. Once again, going to be sunny today and 61. But we're not going to talk about, I guess you could, most people do it outside, but this group does it inside to an extent. So let's talk some cornhole here. How this all came about. So I'm going to give all the credit to our guest here in studio. That would be Adam Waters, who joins me in studio here. He texted me one day. He goes, Ross, in November when you're slow, why don't you have me on? We'll talk some cornhole. And I said, all right, well, this worked out perfect today. So let's talk about sport. Welcome, Adam. Thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate you taking some time to do this. I've heard a lot about the cornhole that's been going on around Northwest Kansas and particularly here in Goodland. You were kind of giving me a backstory on kind of how it, to an extent, got going, and it's really ballooned here over the last, I don't know how many weeks, months, and years. Can you go back about that a little bit?
Yeah, so our group here in Goodland didn't start until roughly February of this year, and I wasn't one of the founders. Dallas Burnt and Alan Brown and I think Bob Juleson were the first three that got this up and going, and I didn't start coming until late March. I didn't get involved until then, but they've been doing it since then. But cornhole in Northwest Kansas has been around for quite some time. The group out of Colby, the 785 Baggers, they've been going for 3-4 years now, and they've got quite the following and quite the list of accomplished players. Actually, they've and going over there and playing with them, it's remarkable. And then the other closest place is over in Burlington, actually, and some of their players, they travel over and they come play with us. But we started in February is the first recorded tournament that they had here, or gathering, as some might call it, and they've been going ever since, doing it on the second, third, and fourth Thursday of each month. We take the first Thursday off because they have meetings in the old VFW hall. The Freedom Hall is what it's called now. And so we aren't allowed to do anything on the first Thursday of the month.
Well, this is it's been interesting to hear about all the different players and stuff that travel around. I mean, there's a lot of guys that have traveled from a long ways to come play in these parts. And there are some extremely, like you were saying before, there are some impressive scores that you see when it comes to cornhole here in Northwest Kansas.
Yes, there is. There's when you get into it, baseball guys can relate because there's stats. I mean, and the beauty about this is you can take it to whatever level you want to. A lot of people come out, and like you said, most people know it as a backyard game, as a barbecue game. You just go out and you throw bags at the hole and, count score and however you come up with it, and determine a winner. But there, on the other end of that spectrum, you have the highly competitive guys that, there's a set of rules set down by the ACL, the American Cornhole League, and they follow that and they go by point system. Well, in that, somebody has developed this app called Scoreholio that, yes, I
love the name.
The name is great.
Scoreholio. I like it.
But in that, whoever developed that, it keeps track of all of your stats, percentages, on percent, off percent, how many hit the board and stayed on it, how many go in the hole. And there are guys out there that, it's very relatable to baseball that they keep track of stats. So-and-so's got a such and such PPR, SPR, you keep track of your own stats, and the computer does most of the work for you.
Adam Waters is once again joining me in studio as we talk about the American Cornhole League, which takes place here in Goodland and around Northwest Kansas as well. I think the thing that surprised me, and I've heard some that you'd think There are some guys, middle-aged guys, older guys, but this is all ages. There's some really good, even younger players that are in high school or just even coming out that are very, very talented.
Yeah, I've played with such a wide range of ages. There's the youngest I think is a 6-year-old from Colby. There's a 6-year-old that plays, and I tell you what, this kid, I've watched him over the last couple months, and he's gone from what you would imagine a 6-year-old throwing a 1-pound bag 27 feet would be to, I mean, he whooped me not too long ago. And I was like, good grief. And then on the other end of that, we've had, I think last night we had a guy in his late 70s or mid 70s. There's such a broad spectrum, and the beauty of this sport, and yes, it is a sport, is that it doesn't matter. You don't have to have any athletic bones in you. You just have to have that slight competitive edge to want to get better or just have fun.
And you were saying like the numbers that are here in Goodland in particular have been really, really high of people that come and participate.
Yeah, we average on our weekly, when we have our weekly tournament, we average anywhere in between 24, 25 people. And I think we've peaked at like 36 is the most people that we've gotten to come in any individual week.
Now, this all takes place at Freedom Hall, like you said, the old VFW. And you were telling me, you think that this is one of the better facilities, at least in our area, to host these type of things, because like I said, you can have multiple areas to play and plenty of other things as well.
Yeah. From what I've seen, and I'm not downgrading any of the other local clubs over in Burlington or over in Colby. It's just when the founders of this set it up, they had a vision and they saw what the facility could offer. And they did the good groundwork, and they went out and they got sponsors. And so each one of our boards, we have 6 sets of boards that are set out at a time each week. And each one of those boards has a mat under it. And the boards are all customized to our sponsors, and the mat corresponds with that sponsor. So we've mitigated the costs by getting sponsors involved in it. And it's good publicity. We've got a lot of local businesses on the boards down there. The beauty of our facility here at Freedom Hall is the Stacers have been absolutely wonderful in this and letting us piggyback on them opening up Traditions Restaurant. So with our setup, you can come down and get your dinner before from Traditions Restaurant, because even in the Freedom Hall, you can order back there and they'll deliver your dinner to you. You can have your dinner, you can get ready, you can play cornhole, and if you are of age, you can drink because the old bar is still back there. And I mean, it offers everybody something, even the snacks for the little kids.
Once again, Adam Waters joining us here in studio, talking about the American Cornhole League that takes place all across Northwest Kansas, but particularly here at Freedom Hall in Goodland. I got to ask, what's some of the best scores you've seen, and what's been your best score?
So, there's 2 ways of scoring it and keeping track of score. One of them is PPR, points per round, and then another one is SPR, which is score. It stands for scores per round, but it essentially equates to how many points you score yourself in one game you play. And so when you throw the bags, one bag on the board counts for 1 point. A bag in the hole counts for 3 points, and you have 4 bags. So the best you could do of any combination of these bags is 12 points. All 4 of them go in the hole. So and they call that a 4-bagger. So 12 points. So your PPR, say I throw a 6 and then I throw an 8, my average, which is the PPR, comes out to be a 7.
Okay.
And so, through the course of a game, we'll play anywhere from 14 to 25 rounds. And through the course of the game, it takes your score and it averages it out. And I think the best I've ever done is, I don't want to tell tales out of school, but something like a random like 10.3.
Okay.
So, I was throwing really, really good, but like the stats, like I was talking about, the stats that keep track of it, lifetime, I only averaged like 6.39. but we have a player in Northwest Kansas. I don't try to keep it local to just one club because we are a community in Northwest Kansas. We've got a player that's ranked number 3 in the state, and he averages, I think I looked at it, like 9.2 or something. Every time he goes to throw his 4 bags, he gets at least 9 points every time. That's 3 in the hole every time.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Adam Waters is our guest here on the Morning Blitz, talk about the American Cornhole League. Is this, for people who are hearing this and didn't know about this, are they just welcome to show up on those, not the first Thursday, obviously, but other Thursdays that you guys there, and can they participate if they'd like?
Yes, definitely. We've made it rather easy to come and participate. We've asked everybody so we could keep track of stats and keep, track of membership also, that before you sign up for the evening, you download the Scoreholio app onto your phone and then create a profile. And it doesn't cost you anything. All you have to have is access to an email to verify your account. But once you get in, and then, you can find us it has a search for tournaments local near and nearby, find ours, and then you just accept or enroll, if you will. And then when you show up, we charge $10 at the door for our tournament. And so you show up, tell us your name, we check you in, we take your $10, and then you can warm up. So that $10 it's also something that I don't see any of the other local clubs doing, is we take that $10 and we pay back 90% of all of our take-in that night. So if we get 30 players, we pay back 10% or 90% of that. And then at the end of the night, after we do our tournament, the top 4 places divide that 90% up, and they take that home as winning. So, there are nights you could pay $10 and come back with 60.
Oh, no doubt. It's certainly a lot of fun. It's to an extent kind of like, a golf league or something like that you would go play in, and something along those lines. Adam Waters, our guest here. So if people want to find out more information, you just invite them to stop on by, or do you want them to contact someone to find out more information about this?
No, feel free. In fact, last night we had our college and community night. We do that on the first week of the month. We have a college and community night that we don't charge a cover charge for. And that's our opening for trying to get the college kids out of the dorms, off the campus, come out in the community, mingle with locals, and just kind of do something. Broke college kids ain't got no money. So, we give them this opportunity to come out, and, a lot of people see cornhole as a college sport. Well, it's amazing how many of these kids have never actually played, nonetheless indoors. But we've had, I invited some of my coworkers out. I had one bring his kids out last night, and they had a blast. It's really good fun, but no, you don't have to enroll, anything like that. It's just show up when we have the tournament starting, and you're more than welcome to join in. Like I said, it takes 0 athletic talent.
I was wondering about, you said, you got this huge space. How many, you were talking, you already have like 35 people that show up there sometimes. How much more can you guys take on? I'm just out of curiosity, do you think?
So with our 6 boards that we have set up, the floor plan would allow for maybe 1 more board. But the board and we've kind of looked at it from a rotational perspective as we go through the nights, and we've came down to, unless we had so many players, I think until we get like 40 plus players, we don't need to put that 7th board out, because to look at it in this way, each person that comes out is you register individually. Some of these tournaments you register as a team, you and another partner. Here you come out and we play 4 rounds of round robin. So I will get on a set of boards with 3 random people, and we'll play a game, and I'll have a random partner. And then after that game's done, the computer will mix us up, throw us back in the batch, and populate another court, and I'll have another 3 random partners. So we'll do 4 rounds of that. And so to keep the boards going and to give you a break, because there's nights that I've played up to 11 games in one night, we minimize the amount of courts that we use so that you can have a break every once in a while, go to the bathroom, get you another drink, just take a break, get off your feet for a minute, because, like I said, some of our people are, middle-aged or older. Some of us need to get off our feet every once in a while.
Anything else before that we have not touched on that we need to highlight real quickly?
No, I just, Freedom Baggers is the name of it. We have a Facebook group that you can go out and get in contact with us on there. Dawn Stacer has been really she's really been valuable to us. She's helped us build posters. She's helped us. In fact, we've got jerseys that are customized to our group here. And she's the one that helped go in there and design those and get them made for us. It's becoming the colder months. A lot of people who, may not have kids in school or have kids in school and want to retreat from them. You can come down there and everybody join up and you don't have to deal with your kids all night long. They'll be entertained by everybody else. And likewise, you get out and you get to meet more people. You can get on Facebook. We'll keep it posted on there, the days of, to kind of throw out a reminder. But, almost every Thursday, except for the first Thursday of the month, come down to Freedom Hall and we've got cornhole going on and get you some good dinner and possibly a drink if you choose so.
Adam, thank you so much for coming in. Really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Ross. I appreciate you having me.
Once again, Adam Waters, go check out the American Cornhole League happening at Freedom Hall in Goodland on Thursdays, except for the first Thursday of every month. We'll take a break. We'll come back and we will wrap up the show with some thoughts on Salvador Perez getting a new deal with Kansas City next in the Blitz.
New year, new projects. At S&W Supply, we've got the tools, parts, and gear for all those New Year's resolutions, even the ones you didn't finish last year. Start the new year right with S&W Supply, your one-stop shop for everything you need and some things you just want.
It's Truck Month at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland. Get behind the wheel of a brand new 2026 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 with 2.9% APR for 72 months. And if GMC's more your style, you're in luck. Drive home a 25 GMC Sierra Elevation with up to $7,000 in customer cash, or lock in 0.9% APR on a 26 GMC Sierra 1500. Whether it's power, performance, or pure style, Hurl Chevrolet GMC has the truck to match your drive. Visit hurlchev.com or stop by today in Goodland and make this Truck Month one to remember.
Make it beef for the holidays. A simple, meaty, meaningful, merry message from Hoxie Feed Yard, Pioneer Feed Yard in Oakley, Lane County Feeders, Decatur County Feed Yard, and Imperial Beef of Imperial, Nebraska.
At Harvest, every acre tells the truth. And if you waited to see this season, you might be watching your yields slip away. Next year, don't wait and see. No with TrivaPro. As the hardest working, longest lasting corn fungicide, TrivaPro works overtime to beat back disease, boost plant health, and preserve yield. For more bushels in the bin when it matters most. In 2026, don't wait to know. Go TrivaPro. Call your retailer today. Always read and follow label instructions.
Nothing warms you up like a bowl of soup, unless it's the warm feelings of giving back. Join the Community Foundation for the Sherman County Gives Match Day on Tuesday, December 2nd at the Price Convention Center. We'll have coffee and pastries for breakfast, soups all day, and plenty of conversations and smiles. Stop by, visit your favorite local organizations, and see how your gift can grow. Learn more or give online at ShermanCountyGives.org. And always remember, love where you live, Sherman County.
This is Lauren, a senior at Goodland High School. Join the Black and Gold Booster Club as we rally together to support our student athletes, band members, and all of our amazing extracurricular programs. The Booster Club would like to congratulate the girls golf team for winning 3A state competition. Allie Keir became the first Cowgirl to win state as an individual champion. Winter sports season will start soon, so be sure to check out our website and Cowboy information for the most up-to-date events. The Black and Gold Booster Club, proudly supporting all students in their academics, activities, and athletics.
Quick hits, bold takes, and all the action.
I'll take that action.
Welcome back to the Morning Blitz.
Thanks again to Adam Waters for coming in and tell us about the American Cornhole League that's taking place currently in Goodland and all around Northwest Kansas, and all across the state, honestly. He says if you get the score, the the Scoreholio app, and that's what they called it. I think if you get that, you look and see there's tournaments happening all over the place. Fascinating. Very, very neat thing for sure. And a great thing to do with the colder temperatures coming around. As we put a bow on the show here today, once again, yes, no Connor Schuh today. He is out working on getting election results, so he should be back tomorrow. Some baseball news coming at you today. Just saw that late last night that Salvador Perez has agreed to a new 2-year contract to remain with the Royals. It's a $25 million contract. He has spent his entire 15-year career with the Royals, named a team captain in 2023. The thing, he's the only guy that's still left from the team that was part of the World Series for the Royals. But the thing that impresses me about Salvador Perez is that this is a guy who is 35 years old, and he's not a small guy. He's a big guy. And yet he still had 155 games last season. 155 games last. I mean, that's a guy usually his size and his age. They're moving him out from behind the plate to play first, and he does play some first, but he still catches a lot of games for the Royals. He's no doubt, I think, a Hall of Famer. He's had a phenomenal career. He still had 30 home runs last year in 2025. His 9th consecutive season with 20 home runs. 9th consecutive full season, I should say, with at least 20 home runs. I'm like I was talking with Adam Waters. He was heading out the door. He goes, well, I'm happy that he's going to end up staying with being a Royal and didn't go somewhere else. I am too. It's great to see him be there. I think he wants to retire Royal. I think that's all awesome. But I just got to give kudos to him and his trainers and stuff like that. That's a guy who's getting up there in age to be down there squatting and catching as much as he does and to play the game as well as he does. He doesn't look like he's like in the most amazing shape. He's a bigger guy, but apparently he's in fantastic shape. So give a lot of credit to Salvador Perez. He's had a phenomenal career there with the Royals, and he will continue, and he's going to stay there. 2-year contract worth $25 million, and I'm sure that was not a super hard deal to get across. I'm sure he probably wanted to stay in Kansas City, and the Royals are willing to give him some pretty good money. But yeah, so him and Bobby Witt Jr., kind of the two cornerstones of that team. Now, once again, the question will be, can they develop their young sluggers in Carter Jensen and Jack Caglione and Vinny Pasquantino and Michael Garcia? Can they continue to build upon what they did last year? And then can they go out and find a little bit more? I think they still need a little bit more pop in the lineup, I think, at this point in time. So we will see about all of that. But yeah, Royals once again get a new deal here get a new deal done with him, 25 years. 2-year, $25 million deal. I'd love to go to the walk-off, but someone is on the computer trying to mess with it right now. So I guess we're going to get this fixed, then we'll go from there. All right, so there we go. Let's get to the walk-off here on this Wednesday.
High drive, deep left, grand slam, and back lifts his ball high and deep to right. How about a walk-off Brady? Thomas to the 10. Denver's going on the New England. They win it on the first play of overtime. Mahomes flings it. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas City.
Other quick news from yesterday. Colorado turning to true freshman Julian Lewis at quarterback. He'll take on West Virginia. Coach Sanders said yesterday in a press conference the move is, quote, common sense, end quote. He did go 9 of 17 with a touchdown last week. I'm surprised it hasn't happened earlier. With the way these games have gone and the way the world is, guys don't stick around very long. I don't know how you don't. I think the red shirt is completely something that is going to be a lost art, and you got to play freshman, because if you don't, they're probably going to go somewhere else in their career. And so let's see what he has to offer for Colorado. He'll get the start against West Virginia. Juju Lewis coming up here on Saturday. Also, Colby Community College volleyball, mentioned early on, begin the postseason tonight at home at the Colby Event Center hosting Seward County. Colby Community College is the 2 seed in this bracket of the Region 6. So they get Seward County tonight. Should they win, they'll advance to take on the winner of Hutchinson and Butler, who's the 3 and 6. And then they'll play in the championship match against more than likely Barton, who's the number 1 seed. It'll come down to Barton and Colby more than likely for the championship of the Region 6 tournament. After today, where once again the higher seed will host, after today, they go to Hayes, I believe, and play at Gross Memorial Coliseum for the semifinals and the finals, which is coming up here on Saturday. So best luck to Lady Trojans as they take on Seward County tonight. Once again, that's at 6:30. I think they're having a tailgate outside prior if you'd like to get there. I think that starts at 5 o'clock. So that'll do it for us today. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you back here again tomorrow in 23 hours. It's been the Blitz.
Classic rock plays here. This is Rocket.